invoice. Of the invoice?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, well, they gave it to me.
Probably gave you the.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Not bastard.
No.
Oh. Ah. There she is.
Oh, I bet you.
You're center of the team. She's. Yeah, I recognize her. Hey, Angela. I have the, which I forgot to bring with me, the invoice for the trees. Do you need that one that shows I picked them up to pay it?
I don't think so,
I emailed you
because she gave me the,
the acknowledgement.
yeah, and that, as far as I know, that worked. I'll check to make sure. I think we've already paid it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll verify that, but
Yeah. It's sitting there by my computer specifically for today.
okay.
And if I had a kid that would have listened to me this morning and got moving,
I'm not
I
taking
wouldn't have
notes.
forgot it.
Oh,
All right.
okay, oh no,
What's that?
my notes are. I can't talk, let alone take notes. so.
You ready? Hit record?
You're good.
Okay.
Buttons pushed?
Yep.
Buttons are pushed.
Oh, here. That ain't gonna work. Get over here. I'm acting like Greg here. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the February 19th Park and Tree Committee meeting for Sweet Home, Oregon. We can please rise and do our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well,
Ready?
before I do roll call, I'll just say I'm happy to see nobody here got laid off in Trump's layoff, so it's good to see you all. And can we do a roll call of the Park and Tree Committee members?
Mhm. Matthew Bechtel,
Present.
Lena Tucker, Wally Shreves,
Present.
Bob Dalton,
Present.
Deborah Northern,
Here,
and Scott Swanson. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Time reports. I think I owe you one. I've thought about it about 6 times now for going and getting the trees to send it to you. I don't think
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-mm.
No, so I have to send it to you because it's actually for last month.
Okay.
So please look over the meeting minutes and I'll need a motion to approve and a second.
I move we approve our meeting minutes from January.
I second it.
We have a motion to approve and a second. The meeting minutes are approved.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Anybody not sure? Okay,
Chairman, really quick before we move on, I want to introduce everybody to our new planning and building permit technician. This is Amber Steinborn. So she will now start helping, well, being tortured by me.
all right.
So,
Welcome to the chaos. We will
Morning.
help make it something.
They're actually a pretty good group, a little rogue, but they're a good group.
Additionally, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that
Oh, yep,
Counselor
sorry.
Peggy has been duly appointed to our committee. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
Oh, good.
Not scared at all.
All right.
Just so you know, I'm excited too.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. So let's move on to our public comments. In case there's somebody online. No comments? All right. It's a surprise. Let's move on to the beautification committee update. Patty?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you,
Thank
Patty,
you.
for being here.
Thank you. Was a chore. No, before I start, I just have to give you the rules. And the rules are we're basically playing fill in the blanks or charades here. So if I pause, feel free to help me out with whatever word you think is going to work. And we'll get through this. I'm here for Candy Snyder. She'll be taking over the lead of beautification, and she's somewhere in the warm Caribbean. So,
Oh.
yeah, shame on her. So I'm just here this time around. I would like to say to all of you that I appreciate and beautification appreciates the support that you have given us through the last 2 years, and that they are ready to dig in and get going again in the right direction. Um, there are no blanks here, are there? um, they have a good small core of volunteers that are committed, about 13 to 15. I'm not exactly sure. And one of the main goals this year is to get more volunteers, which we're hoping, to really work with all of you in the city and to get out what it is they need and do really well. They've met a couple times and discussed plantings and timeline, and since this is new for Candy, she's keeping the basics the basic schedule that we've had before, and we will be sticking this year with scaled down petunias and then look forward to a change next year. And that again is so that it's familiar to her to carry on. And there's just several things that need to be fixed from the last couple years. And so they're concentrating on that as well. I even have a note here. One new thing that we have one of our volunteers taking the lead on we call them the beauty strips, but it's that section out of town east. And she has some good ideas that they're not quite ready yet to present, but they should be at our next regular meeting. We have in the past taken care of 4th Avenue, and we are asking Gilbert to take that on. So he will be in charge of keeping up that corner. And I know he's been working with the church on the opposite 4th Avenue there, excuse me, to them participate in taking care of that corner because beautification has always done both. And we have, where are you? The entrance. No, the other one. Yes, Fern Ridge. Thank you. Fern Ridge, Bonnie Healy and Rebecca and a friend are going to take on the responsibility of that area. And so that will alleviate so much of the volunteers having to zip back and forth instead of just their regular scheduled days. And we're working on all the rest of the regular stuff, which you or I don't even know. So you have to fill in those. But was there anything else I needed? No, not yet. As soon as she gets home from her vacation. Yes, yes, that'll be next week. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rebecca?
Oh, Rebecca.
Okay, by the end of the month, Candy will have ordered the flowers for the median, Clover Park, and the baskets,
Yeah,
and Fern Ridge.
yeah. And
And I have a calendar here if anybody is interested of our meetings and our prepping schedule.
Yeah, Rebecca, if you can give that and I'll scan it and I can email it out to
Yes, that
everybody.
would be
Thank you.
perfect.
there may be some changes on that when the meeting occurs
Yes,
next.
this is just sort of our rough
Yeah, it's a preliminary,
outline of what we're
pretty close.
talking
though.
about.
Yeah, pretty close. And did you say all the entrances will have their flowers at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I think that's all.
Do you happen to have a planned date for your mass planting of the islands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you tell it to me so I can write it down on here? Because this is the one
The plant to medium is May 13th.
okay.
Okay.
The flowers arrive on the 12th from Bowman's.
And by then, prior to that, I'm hoping at least a couple weeks prior to that planting, all the water lines will be checked and be ready to go so that we don't have to mess around with that on planting day. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I just want to make sure I'm ready on the 13th to come harass everyone out
oh,
there.
good.
Oh, good.
And help.
Good.
Improperly plant things in the wrong place.
Well, the nice thing about Oregon is they grow anyway.
Yeah.
Whether they're upside down or
And
sideways.
Angela will send you out a copy of this,
Sure.
of what we've done
Yep.
so far.
And I know Public Works will be assisting a lot more on the medians so we can get people on and off the road as quickly as possible. I've already committed to that, but I do know that there are some issues with water lines that are quite a few years old, and the weather, cold, heat kind of takes its toll on those above ground or in ground hoses. So there are some repairs that need to be made.
Okay.
Patty, I had a question because
Yes.
Candy, excuse me, had reached out to me, and it might be for you as well, Angela, she was wondering about the budget for that group. And
Well, she was primarily concerned about whether or not we were getting the same funding that we had in the past.
Yes, and
Okay. We
we'll
will
have
have
to
a,
find the email, but we have money for planting.
it's just, that's always seems to
Yeah.
be a question bounce
There's-
back and forth.
right, and there should
Yeah.
be enough money from last year to take care of the plants for this year. We try to keep enough available. So, and I think our balance is correct. That it will cover the plants for this year. And then June, I think, is that your year? Is June when the new city year starts?
And I did confirm with Cecily that there is enough of a budget
Yes.
to get all the flowers and everything.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I
thank
can't
you.
find the email right this second to, but there is money.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. And again, I just want to congratulate you guys on great work that's done out there. It's amazing. I love seeing the flowers up, and there's always comments from the people that I run into, my friends that come to town, on how beautiful the median and the entrances are to the town. So
Right.
that work is reflected in the comments received from a lot of people.
Yes, it is. It's kind of, let's see, who was the last person that told me they moved here? One of the reasons was they felt by looking at the median strip, the main street, they felt that the city really cared. And so that was their final. It was somebody who's moved to town. Somebody with a business, but I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
For that. I have one question. Shoot, it's supposed to be right here. Oh, well.
Just ask whenever it comes back. That happens to me all the
Maybe I'll
time.
write it down. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's why I parked at the end of the parking lot. I wasn't sure what I was doing here.
Right, which,
Wow. Wait,
thank you. Thank you.
Actually, I was eating a burrito. Anyways,
That
thank
explains
you.
it.
Thank you.
Weddell Bridge Mill City Outreach Update. I actually have info.
Ooh.
So first off, over the phone, they're not inclined to release a lot of information. So I thought I would try to call them and talk to them and just say, hey, could you link me up with somebody that did the fundraising? She said, well, I'll take your information and pass it along. And I realized nothing was going to happen. So it's going to require a drive out there. But she did tell me some stuff. So that bridge was actually part of a huge grant that they got. And it was something called a Federal Tiger Grant, which is a DOT funding. And it was, I don't hear well, so I misunderstood what she said, I'm sure, but I backed the math out and figured out it was a $2 million project. And it's DOT does them, and they're to support roadways and economic development in a city. So, and this was one of the largest ones that I found that had been done out there.
Is there a bridge? Do cars drive?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. It's just that bridge is just a
I was gonna
walking
say that might
bridge.
be why the ODOT can do it, but
They,
okay.
they can because it helped with the economic development of that area. So, and I think she didn't get into it, but I'm assuming the road work that they did when they had all that down for so long and they fixed the other bridge was probably all part of the same thing.
Okay.
So they raised $400,000 to support the grant. And it's an 80% match. That's how I came out with 2 million, unless my math is wrong, which is highly possible. I didn't have my kids check it. So
You said how much is the match? 80% match?
80%, no, 20%.
Oh, I was gonna
Did
say
it
that's
backwards,
fun.
sorry. 80% they fund and 20% match.
Okay.
I mean, our park grant is 40% match, so I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, 80.
Yeah, I was excited with 20%. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot less. But then figuring out how it ties together is the next part to see if that's even possible or if there's probably no grants left right now anyway. So
Grants are on sketchy ground right now.
Yeah.
Depending on where the original funding comes from, but we're still researching grants.
yeah,
So
but it was at least some information. So I'm going to have to make a road trip. And I understand you don't want to release things to just some joker on the phone. So I'll go stand in front of them and they won't release information to some shady looking character standing in front of them, but I'll give it a shot. See if I can't motivate them a little more to at least link me up with a human being that can tell me what was the process they did for assembling those funds through public support.
yeah, and the gentleman we spoke to, community members got together and the community members were the biggest part of that whole
Yeah.
fundraising activity. So the activities that they did to be able to do that is going to be the key. So thank
Yeah.
you for.
Yep. And it could be I'll have to get out of the city hall and go talk to another entity within the town to get the information, but it's going to happen whether they like it or not. So, Arbor Day. So, we have our date, we have our trees. It's still, well, it's starting to warm up.
It's a good time to plant.
Can I ask what the date is
For Arbor Day. 26th
of?
It's April.
April. It's that last Saturday.
What's that? It's going to be a nice day. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
It's not going to be overly warm, but we should have good weather. So,
Just bring an umbrella in case.
oh, no, you're good.
Okay.
We will not need that.
Got to make sure.
Yes. Sean, you got any thoughts? Planting?
No, actually, the 3 trees we purchased, are those planned on going out during Arbor Day, or those are separate for Sankey? Is that correct?
Didn't we buy 4 trees?
Yeah,
Oh, 4. Yeah.
4
yeah.
down there.
Okay. So all 4 go out in Sankey Park, and our initial thoughts on this were to go ahead and get them planted this winter when there's plenty of rain and the temperatures are conducive. And at our Arbor Day event, we'll just gather around whichever one we
Okay.
pick as kind of our celebration.
Gotcha.
That way we're giving the trees more of a head start rather than kind of at the last minute before summer.
I do have one request. If you can let me know what day you're going to plant,
Pictures.
yes, we can do pictures. Either that or if somebody can get pictures and
Yeah.
send them to me, but it might
Yeah.
just be easier to let me know and we'll run down real quick and get
Mhm.
pictures of planting. And then that way I have those.
So just a quick reminder, we have a flowering plum, a different variety, not your standard thundercloud. This is a Krauter Vesuvius flowering plum, and it's going to replace the one that was taken out by the ice storm by the bridge there. That was a celebration tree for I think the Ames Creek project. Is that what that
I
was?
think so.
I have the plaque picture somewhere. And then we have 2 more Akabono cherries to kind of continue our line of cherries there along the plaza. And then we have a Pacific Fire maple, which is in the vine maple family. It's just a little fancier one. And it can handle partial shade. So this was the replacement for the Carol Lewis tree. And so if we've determined that old splash pad, if the center is really, there's nothing in there but dirt, we can put it back in there and it should do fine in the understory because the plaque for Carol is there as well. Just like anything, I'd suggest we try to water it for the first season and kind of make sure it gets well established. And it's not a huge tree, it's more of an understory tree, but it has great fall color. I was pleased to find that going, oh, I've been wanting to try some of those, and here's a great opportunity. And as always, Blue Heron, super easy to work with. You
Oh, yeah.
picked them up, and they're
Yeah, they're great.
they're super easy to work with, and I really appreciate it. And every year they'll have a little different varieties, so something to kind of keep our eyes on. So we just need to kind of come up with a date. So I'll let you think about scheduling.
Wally, when is it not going to freeze, snow, or torrential downpour?
I can't guarantee any torrential downpour in the next few weeks, but the freeze, it looks like a little bit in the 1st of March, and that's it.
About March 10th, somewhere in there.
He's like our
Yeah.
resident weatherman.
Between March 1st and the end of March. How's that?
Sorry, sidebars. We're talking about weather and we could plan them next week, but there's still that potential of freezing, I think. I don't have a forecast.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts if it's frozen after they're in the ground because they were sitting on my trailer for the last freeze
Yeah.
That's probably true.
and they did just fine.
Okay.
In
And
fact, it was great having them there because my boys kept asking me what they were for, and I kept telling them where we're going to plant them, and they need to get ready, get the shovels out. And then they disappeared.
I will let Sean work that out with, maybe after this, we'll talk about when we can put them in the ground next week.
If we could, figure out a date would be nice. Maybe some of us could come over for the photo and
Yep. So the plum and the Pacific Fire maple are 15 gallons, so those are pretty easy by hand. Those cherries, I think, are 25 gallons. I'll leave it to your judgment as to how easy it is to get a whole. Oh, okay. Okay.
I took them off and put them back on the trailer a couple times. So
I mean, the basic is just kind of a whole, the size of the pot plus another half the pot size, enough room for it to kind of grow out. So, but yeah, even a little freeze from here on out, it's not going to hurt if they're in the ground. It's just, we had frozen ground situation,
Yeah.
weeks ago.
really
so,
hard to dig in.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm just going to confirm the replacement trees below that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about already. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Just to, if you, Chairman, the Arbor Day flyer, I will have that draft to you guys by next meeting. I was hoping to have it by today, but it just.
Yeah.
Lots of things. So it is already started and I already have it, the dates and stuff changed on it. I'm just making
Sure.
sure that I have everything put on it correctly. And then I'll send it out to you guys to take a look at.
Yep.
One more question, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up that our botanist that we have on the committee has identified some ivy that needs to be removed.
Oh,
Sankey Park. So,
South Hills Trail,
oh, those were in Sankey, weren't they? You sent me
South
some.
Hills Trail, and there's some in Sankey.
Yeah, I was thinking the ones in Sankey,
Mm-hmm.
we would do as a committee that Arbor Day morning.
That'd be good.
And that would be a good day, a good way to show some arboring.
so you want to remove ivy, have games for kids and.
Yeah,
You're killing me.
yeah. If you look at the ivy though, that's on the trees, it's a,
So maybe we
It's a-
can talk
it's a-
about a schedule and I could put the schedule on
Yeah.
the flyer of.
yeah. There's
Okay.
the ivy, I think I can reach to the top of it.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's
no
short.
problem.
It's just, we need
Yeah,
to
I
get
can
on it right away in the spring, rip it off and cut it back. And then we can show we did some actual work in the park, a little bit. It might take half an hour. That should be easy. It wasn't like the trees that we've looked at over there in Upper Sankey that, you're pulling from 30 feet up, waiting for a limb to come down and kill you.
Well, we'll make sure to get pictures of that also so I can send that in so we can add that to
Yeah.
it.
Yep. And Deb sent me all the pictures of the trees the way they are currently, so we'll have a before and after
Okay.
to go from. I just thought that would be good to show we did some work that day besides setting up our normal games and stuff for the kids.
Did you get the ones from South Hills Park or trails?
I'm sure I did.
Okay.
My memory isn't clear on, I just recognized the one area of Sankey,
Okay.
so. Any other Arbor Day?
So in terms of kind of giveaway items,
I have a whole pile
You
in
got
my
all
office
the-
right now.
the good
Mhm.
handouts, so those came in and I did get reimbursement. Thank you. I did not have Coosa dogwoods. They disappeared like that at our seedling sale this weekend and I did not get a chance to grab any before everybody bought them. But I do have an assortment of shrubs and flowers from basically my yard that I divided and potted up last fall. So I'll have something to bring. I do have some extra from the seedling sale. I do have some extra dwarf Oregon grape. So this isn't the tall stuff that you see in the woods. It's more of a landscaping. It gets about 2 feet high. They're really pretty and they're nice plants. So if you guys think that that would be something maybe the public would be interested in, we kind of shied away from doing like fir trees and pine trees because people live in the city and it's kind of hard to give them a big tree to plant. But
I say I have a whole bunch of Douglas fir seedlings growing everywhere.
yeah, probably not the best for giving to folks who live in the city to plant big trees. So the Coosa dogwoods would have been perfect, but I was a little too busy doing other things before I could go grab some. But I will come up with some different things. I think I might actually have a red bud that we gave those away last year. I think I still have one in a pot that should have made it through the winter. So I will scrounge up some plants just to.
If you need some smaller pots, let me know because I have a bunch.
I was gonna, yeah, I remember you had some extras. So let me look at what I got and what I need and I'll holler at you.
And I have one of your black-eyed Susans that you got and it does beautifully.
Those were kind of the best things to divide, I think, and people really like them. So, okay.
Okay. Any others for the Arbor Day? Should be another good day this year. Looking forward to it. Last year was a major success, so
It was fun.
yeah. I was surprised how many people played the different games and
Pretty good
And,
turnout.
maybe.
And as soon as I get the flyer done, I will also start working on just a ad for the new era. And then I'll get a Facebook flyer to add them to include on our Facebook page.
Sure.
So,
Anything we need Nancy to do while she's not here? Just
I'll
throwing that-
print flyers so she likes to hand out the
Okay.
physical flyers, so I'll
Yeah.
make sure to print
We'll
some.
task her with that then while she's not here. All right.
She likes to make baskets, so we could do a raffle thing
Oh.
with the donations go into the park. You
Mhm.
might throw that out and see if she can come up with something.
Yeah. I'll tell her she was nominated to do that. All right, thank you. Sankey Park Phase 3 update.
We got the 100% engineering drawings, and we are they're helping to put together kind of a cost analysis right now. So once I get that, then I will go back and amend our grant ask. So I'm trying not to grit my teeth because I think the engineering is going to come in way more than what we originally thought, but
Probably.
I hope we still have enough. The grant will still cover all of it with
Yeah.
our match. The thing will be still how much match we can come up with. So I'm waiting to find that final number. Hopefully I will have that done by the end of this month, if not the 1st of March. So,
Okay.
and then we have till the end of this year to get it done, but we're getting ready to go.
Good. That's a positive thing.
Mhm.
Sean, are you looking forward to that? Yeah. That should be interesting. I just like harassing you, so. All right, new business, community garden. I went back, did anybody else get over to Lebanon to look at it?
Hmm.
No,
Yes.
you did?
Yes. But I'm trying to remember what I didn't take pictures.
Oh,
So.
maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to go and
Yeah.
take photos of it, and I'll do that. I got to go that way today, so.
Doesn't it have like a short chain link fence around it? Am I
Yeah.
thinking of the right one? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I was in the right spot.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go back and take photos of it and I'll bring it to the next meeting. I really think that would be a great. And we don't have to hurry on it. I think putting that in, we talked about, Strawberry Park having something similar as a simple installation. So,
If you take pictures, send them to me, and
Yeah.
then Adam, we can bring them up on the screen
Yeah.
at the next meeting. So,
yep, I'll do that. Oh, do you? Okay,
Overhead would be cool.
I even know where you live. My son gets his hair cut by somebody over there. Okay. Just never know what I find out. So let's move on down to roundtable discussion. I'll start at my far right. Scott, you have anything for today specific that? Okay. Matthew?
Got nothing.
Nope.
pressing.
Okay. Lena?
Thank you, Angela, for our Tree City
Mhm.
application. And refresh my memory, is this our 35th year?
38th.
Oh, we're at 38 now.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay,
We had a discussion last night, a little bit, short discussion, as we come closer to 40,
We should
doing something
become big.
a little bit bigger for
Yeah.
our 40th. So, which
Yeah.
we still have 2 years, but
Okay,
yeah, but we're getting close to a significant deadline.
that's
so.
big because there's
Yeah,
not,
I just gave Sean the stickers
Yeah.
this morning. So,
because we're still in the upper echelon of longevity for
Mhm.
Tree City in Oregon. So
Maybe we can get a tree sent to space and bring it back and plant it. Just a thought.
with seeds.
Yeah.
Seeds.
Oh, seeds.
Move
Okay.
seeds. Yes.
Yeah. All right, Bob.
Just a couple things. Public Works, the tree that I donated, I saw the pictures that Dominique had sent me of use of that lumber being for tables and the plaque that the high school made. And thank you very much for that. That was great to see that. Awesome job on your part.
Thank you for your service too.
You got the other tree too, didn't you? The redwood or whatever I donated? Have you already cut it? How's it look? Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing some of that, just to see what it looks like.
I have a picture of one of the boards.
Oh,
I'll
send
show
it to,
you- I'll show it.
send it to me. Yeah, I'd like to see that. And the other, the item that's not on the agenda is have we kind of gave up on the building for Sankey Park, the community building? Didn't see much discussion around that, so I didn't know if that was still
No, it's,
pending.
we haven't given up on it, but we've had to remove it from this grant because we won't be able to come up with enough match. So, but it is on a priority to add to that. And there's been some discussion about some other design ideas that
Options,
might,
yeah.
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 So it's definitely not gone.
Yeah.
It's what we're hoping to do is maybe add it into a next cycle or maybe do something separate
Okay,
to do that. So no,
Yeah.
it's not gone.
don't want to lose sight of that one. That's all I had, Wally.
So the grant that we have right now, you have to have 40% match. And I think we still had to come up with $65,000 the last time we looked. Now I'll have to go, Cindy's teaching me how to run reports so I can do my own. I received $1,000 donation about a month or so ago. I mean, that's still not $65,000, but
Yeah.
one came in. And so I'll have her run a report and I'll give you a report
Yeah.
next meeting. So
So what would be the cost of that building?
well, we haven't flushed that out because we have to come up with a design first. I mean, we have a lot of options that we came up with. There's a total wood structure, but then there's been talk about maybe having something that's a little more versatile where you have what are those little
Little tarps.
little
We'll call-
tarp roof, but then you can move them, remove them.
Screens.
There you
Yeah.
go, shade screens. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Visually, I can see them, but I was like, what is that called? So there's a couple different options we're looking at. We just have to, because this grant is already in motion, we've got to get done what we can. And so these grants are based on points, and you get points based on different components. And the largest amount of points that we received were for the ADA path. And so we're focusing on the ADA path, and then we will go back and figure out what to do with the bandstand community center. So.
Because originally, Scott, that came out, Dave Trask and I went and looked at the wood structure.
Right.
And at that time, it was around 70. Now, that's just the structure. That wasn't including concrete underneath of it. And
Engineering.
And then we
electricity.
went back and it'd been a while since we had looked at it. And of course, prices, it was over $100,000. I mean, it just like that, it just jumped.
Yeah, I built a garage during COVID. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Should have saved those trees for that building, I guess.
I paid
Get
double
rid of
what
those lump-
I paid double what I thought I was going to be paying.
So Bob, something you had mentioned to me a while ago was a significant community member had planted some trees on the edge of the street.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen anything with that? Changes, or is it still?
Well, he still needs to mow his yard. I can see that, but no, I just been seeing a lot of those trees pop up. Now, I don't know. Did he remove them? I guess I haven't walked down. No, they were still kind of scraggly in there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we had talked about was where residents go right out on that little strip past the sidewalk to the street and they just plant trees. They don't,
It breaks it out.
and there they are, and they don't ever maintain them or take. And we got a lot of trees up on Elm Street like that where they plant a plum tree or something and the fruit hangs all over the sidewalk and then the tree gets broken. They just don't do anything with it. They're getting where they just, I guess I don't know if there's an ordinance that says you need to go ask before you plant, but
I'll have to look because if it's in the beauty strip, we may have some regulations that determine beauty strip maintenance and what can be planted. I don't recall having a regulation about what can be planted, but there might be some regulations about maintaining.
So the tough thing of some of them is right under power lines and that, so they just plant them, and now that becomes an issue. But the last time I was up there, they'd thrown marbles and other decorative items out there that.
Okay.
I don't know where they got their landscaping ideas, but
Okay. I will look into that, see an ordinance. I'm sure, I mean, we have ordinances for street trees and types of trees and different things. So I'm sure there's something somewhere. I just haven't looked in a while, so I'll look.
yeah, that would be an interesting one to put out there.
Okay. And
Yeah.
if you do see an issue with it, let me know and I can send Ray, our code compliance officer, out if there is actually some code issues. He's really nice. He'll just talk to them first and just say, hey, we need to take care of this. And he doesn't tell anybody where he gets his information from. So he's good.
I
with
think
that.
a lot of residents out there too, they have stuff near the sidewalk, but they don't ever maintain it because you'll see shrubs planted and pretty soon the shrub's halfway over on the sidewalk, and they, you see a lot of that.
Well, and stuff like that is
It's just tough.
considered impeding pedestrian traffic. And
Yeah.
so that definitely would count as.
Thought about just go down there with my shrub shears when I'm going by their house and trim and throw it back over the
I do
fence,
that.
but you do?
On my walks, I take my shears with me.
That's stand correct.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that up with the trees, part of our tree committee, because I'm afraid that what I've seen in the past is that's going to interfere with infrastructure. The water line coming in, the sewer line going in and out, ripping up the sidewalk, and we get a big V in it as the trees continue to grow. And it'd be much easier to correct it when they're little trees and tell them, hey, before they're all proud of this, 15-foot thing that's going to keep growing and cause a big problem. So
If you guys can send me the area that you're talking about, and then what I can do is I'll look up the ordinance and then I'll talk to Ray and have Ray go out and take a look.
13.
you'll have to send it
What-
to her. I don't.
The
I
Sankey
looked for
Park,
'em, I didn't
what's,
find 'em.
was that 13th or 14th comes up by Sankey Park? That
14th,
So it's just 14th and Elm,
14th and
right on the corner. You'll see them on both sides of that street. They just,
Oh, yeah. I know what you
We
mean.
got the,
Sean knows what I'm talking about.
we got the same issue on Nandina Street too. And the trees are kind of big and the sidewalk it's a hazard for people to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we have that in a lot of places in town, but the ones that if we can catch them now, like these little ones, and get it corrected, and it might just be an education thing,
Mhm.
making sure people understand, hey,
That'd be a good Arbor
cool
Day,
idea, but not.
Arbor Day table showing them where they can and can't.
Yeah. Yep.
So maybe some flyers or something at that time would be a good one to hand out. Educate.
I think we have some flyers kind of in the realm of the right tree for the right place. I know the
Mhm.
Pacific Power has a lot of good brochures too. So when you look at planting the trees along the sidewalks, more than often there's power lines.
Yeah.
Above too. So, I mean, that's kind of one realm we can go. We can look at some of our
I
brochures
think
in
there's an
the
opportunity there.
extra box but that's actually a good theme that we can use that phrase, the right tree in the right spot or the right
Yep.
place, not just for height, but for the width that the tree needs in the planting spot. And then, how easy is it to maintain over time?
And I can tell you somebody that pulls a big toy hauler and goes in towards the McDonald's area and tries to come back out by the barber shop. All those trees are like 5 and 6 feet out in the road. I got to drive right down the middle, which it doesn't bother me, but all the people turning into me are really irritated.
You need to take Deborah with you.
Yeah.
She'll take care of them.
Yeah.
I have something for the round table.
Yeah.
There's a park, okay, you go to Pleasant Valley Bridge. Right before you go over the bridge, there is a park to the left. And then we go down to the water
Yeah.
treatment plant.
Yep.
Okay.
White's Park.
White's Park. Well, my friend was parked there waiting for her brother to come down the hill because he'd been having vehicle problems. And a guy pulled over and told her that they had just bought that area and that they weren't allowing people to park there.
So it is private property. It is not city property.
They should
So-
post that.
So,
I think they did.
It has been posted.
yeah.
Some other people have ripped their signs down,
Uh-huh.
but that is private property. That is not a city park.
Yeah.
So if somebody asks you to
Thank you.
leave, you are trespassing.
Okay. Because I was going to park there and see if anybody.
Well, historically,
Yeah.
people had been allowed and
Yeah,
nobody had really
white.
enforced it, but the people that have bought it now are probably going to enforce it. They've talked about possibly putting a fence up, but I don't know how far
Okay.
they're going to go. So.
They didn't buy just that. I mean, they bought White's and they're
Yeah.
the business
Okay.
that's moved
Part of
in.
it.
is part of it, so.
The property line actually comes across the river and then
Yeah.
cuts into that.
Yeah.
It's a weird little,
Yeah.
one of our weird little pockets.
Yeah, and I've talked to him and there's been a lot of nefarious people in that park and left garbage and everything else they've had to pick up and clean up and try to get people out of there. And so they're
People
just,
staying
closing it.
overnight.
So a couple bad apples.
Yeah.
Of course, there's not much else you can do in that park but pull in and pull out. And I still drive in and out of there just because they said.
Walk your dogs.
Anybody got anything else for a meeting today?
Are you hitting the button, Scott? I saw you right there.
I was gonna make a smart comment.
Oh, you can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, this was a quicker meeting today. We'll get the pictures of the Lebanon's garden for the next meeting and go over it. And I'd like to take a vote on it at the next meeting, you know, if we'd like to recommend it or not, but I want everybody to see it. And so if you can, take a drive over there and look at it. And then we'll have pictures also. And I'll see if I can't get something else out of Mill City, if they just would please.
I have a friend that lives in Mill City,
Yeah,
so I might give her some homework,
okay.
see if she can find some good contact information.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm assuming if I go talk to the whatever the Legia is of Mill City, she'll probably help me out. So, all right. Well, that concludes our Park and Tree Committee meeting for February 19th, 2025. Thank you. Oh, did you ever remember?
Aw.